So, what is share market? Share market is the place where we buy and sell companies' shares, or the buying and sellings of companies' shares take place. For example, if a company just launch a share, okay, so that just goes to the share market and just anyone can buy it or sell it. Okay, so this is share market. And now let's move on to private listed companies and publicly listed companies. Okay, so what is publicly listed companies? Private listed companies are one that are not listed on stock exchange. Shares are held to founders, private investors, and family. Okay, so what does this mean? This means that the share exchange, like shares are not listed on the share exchange market, yeah, stock exchange market. Okay, they are just held to some small investors, private investors, founders, or family. It is totally depend on the private listed companies, like in which investor they want. Like if you just take an example of stock, नहीं क्या था वो Shark Tank, yeah, Shark Tank. You just take an example of Shark Tank, right? If they, like in Shark Tank, they just explain everything to the investors. The sharks like Namita, Lenskart one, and all the persons. They just explain them about their company and they just decide that they want to invest there or not, right? That is the good example of private listed company. They are the private listed companies that come to Shark Tank. Okay. Then what is public listed companies? So public listed companies are the one that are listed on stock exchange, in which general publics can buy it or sell the shares. It's totally depends on the public, like what shares they want to sell it and buy it. Okay, it's totally depends on them. The general public can buy, anyone can buy them. That are public listed companies. Okay, so now let's move on to primary market and secondary market. So, what is primary market? Primary market is one where the companies issue a IPO, initial public offering, for the first time. Okay, and then the money goes directly to the company, and then they just invest it to just grow them or and to just grow their rates or just to grow themselves and their company. So, now what's the secondary market? After the IPO shares are traded between investors on stock market like NSE, money moves between investors, not the company. So, this means that if the IPO shares, that when the IPO shares are just launched, okay, then after that, the shares are traded between investors like general public in NSE and BSE in stock market. Okay, so the money moves between investors, not the company. If the investors want, they can just buy it and sell it. They are just listed on NSE, BSE, and there. The stock market is just gone there. This is secondary market in which anyone, any investor can buy it or sell the products. Okay. And the one thing is the dividend. Okay. So if the company want, they can also issue dividend on that. If their prices are just high and they just earn a huge profit, so they also issue dividend in share market. And the primary share market can also guess this and secondary market also. But it totally depends on the company. If they want it, they just do it. If they don't want it, they don't do it. Okay. So this is, and this all share market is just done by SEBI. And I think you just know what the SEBI is. Just if anyone don't know, then the SEBI is Stock Exchange Bureau of India. Okay. So first, so now let's move on to prospects and consequences of investing in share market. Okay. So what is the advantages of that? of share market. So, first one is high return potential. Yeah, there is a high return potential. If someone is investing your wealth in share market, then there is then you can get a huge profit than fixed deposit or savings account. In the fixed deposit, the rates are 6% to 8%, or in savings account, not more than that. But in share market, you can just earn your wealth up to profit of 22% if you are just investing good. Okay. And as a shareholder, you own part of the company. This is also the advantage. If you are investing in some company, for example, Relied Alliances, or any company, XYZ, if you are investing in that, for example, NSC or in BSC, in whichever way you want, you're just investing in a company, then you can just own a holder. You are a company holder. You are the owner of the company, as you own a part of the company. For example, you're investing, for example, 30%. You are just, for example, 1 lakh or any amount you are just investing in the company. You just own the company. You are just the owner of the company, right? So, okay. So the third advantage is liquidity. So the shares can be bought or sold quickly in the market. This is also the advantage, right? If if someone is buying the share, okay, he can just sell this also quickly. So this is the liquidity. So this comes under liquidity. Okay. So dividend also. I just tell you previous also, like in public listed companies and private listed companies also, you can just got their dividend also. Like if you are getting regular income, if the company declare dividend, you can just you can get regular incomes. So this is also an advantage. Now let's move on to disadvantages. So if so there is a price violation, that the price can go down also, fluctuate daily. It's fluctuate daily. The price can also go up, it can also go down also. Okay. So this is the disadvantages, and you just need to be careful if you are investing in stock market or share market. Okay. So the next disadvantage is market risk. When the economics slow down, or there is a global events or some crash over going on there, anything, okay, in the market, so the prices can go down. The market slow If the markets crash or economics is slow down, the stock market can also crash, or the share market can also crash. Okay. So the third point is company risks. If the companies underperform, or just the company shut down, so the value of the shares go down. This means that the company, for example, a company doesn't perform well, or it is not doing well. For example, it is not able to achieve their target, then the company's value can also slow down, can get down. And if the company shut down, then also the value can go down. So this is a risk, a huge risk. And the fourth point is emotional stress. So this means that if you are investing in stock market, you need patience. Okay, like it can also take 1 year, it can also take 2 years. Well, it requires patience and knowledge. If you're not having knowledge, you can just not invest in share market. So this is disadvantage of that. So it is not suitable for conservative investors. So this means that.